12 boards, 8 assists for LeBron. He's now 1 win away from his 4th NBA championship as we bring the one and only Jalen Rose into this conversation. Good morning, Jay. Let's talk about that. What was the key in your mind to the Lakers winning what was a scrappy, hard-fought Game 4 last night?
Outstanding defense, holding the Miami Heat under 100 points scoring overall, not letting Bam Adebayo in his return have a major impact, and not letting Jimmy Butler go off the way he did in the previous game when he had a 40-point triple-double. This was a total team victory for the Los Angeles Lakers. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, who basically was in Los Angeles before the Lakers got LeBron James. They dealt with some turbulence with KCP. They stuck with him, and it's paid off in this championship run. He was huge in the first. He was huge in the fourth. What about Rajon Rondo, a seasoned veteran? He was written off by the league in a lot of ways. His floor general, being a floor general, taking the ball out of LeBron's hands, allows him now to be more of a finisher. Okay, what about Morris, Keith Morris? They pick him up during the mid-season, and now all of a sudden he's starting in the NBA Finals. So many guys getting a chance to contribute, but it all starts with the leadership and the productivity of LeBron James.
Yeah, they brought 5 guys off their bench last night. The Heat only 3. The Heat only got 13 points off their bench. Here's what I took away from last night's game, Jalen, though. Tell me what you think of this. I expected LeBron and AD to go out and dominate that game last night. I thought they gave away a Game 3. Now they come back totally focused and really establish dominance. That's not what happened. For anyone who watched the game last night, that was there for the taking for Miami. Couple of open looks that they don't knock down. What does that mean as far as you're concerned looking ahead to Game 5?
The Heat couldn't make shots. I agree with you, Greeny. Duncan Robinson really couldn't get loose. Tyler Hero, he's a rookie playing in the NBA Finals. He wasn't productive. Obviously, they were missing Goran Dragic. Kelly Olynyk wasn't able to duplicate what he was able to do in the previous game. But this is a character win for the Los Angeles Lakers because series look vastly different, and we know it when they're tied 2-2 versus when one team has 3. And when you were showing the footage of that highlight of LeBron warming up, I saw Rob Pelinka sitting on the baseline. And I remember coming on this show and people wondering, was he pressing all of the right buttons and was going to put the Lakers in position to win the championship? And then all of a sudden you start adding people like Dwight Howard. You acquire Anthony Davis. Now think about this. They get Anthony Davis. New Orleans does that deal because they know they're going to get Zion. The Lakers don't make the playoffs last year. They're going to win the championship this year. And the Pelicans didn't make the playoffs, and they just fired their coach. Life comes at you fast in the NBA.
Yeah, that's Jalen Rose. Rob Pelinka, I can't remember. Whose team did he play for in college? Whose teammate was he again?
The Wolverines, hail to the victors.
Okay, but let's look at it Game 5. You just told us the Lakers are going to win, and clearly a 3-1 advantage. In their whole history, they've only blown a 3-1 lead in the playoffs one time, the Lakers have. But what can the Heat do to win that and at least force a Game 6?
The one thing I like about the Miami Heat DNA is they always seem to do the improbable. Nobody anticipated them being here. Look at what happened with Philadelphia. Now they have Glenn Rivers as their coach. He's like how I didn't call him Doc. I wanted to respect him. The back-to-back Bucks having a regular season best record, and Giannis is the MVP, not making it to this point. The Boston Celtics not ready to make it to this point. The Raptors, the defending champion, not making it to this point. So now that the Heat are here, they are overachievers. No Bam, no Goran, and then all of a sudden Jimmy goes off and has an amazing game. Now we see the writing on the wall for the Los Angeles Lakers to win this game. Now this is when the Miami Heat normally play a tough basketball game, Greeny, and I anticipate Bam Adebayo to have a signature game in this series. His conditioning wasn't there yesterday, and it shouldn't be after you miss a couple of games. When you saw the late layup from Rondo, he was able to recover. When you saw KCP, he was kind of hesitant. When you saw AD make the 3, that was over Bam. Usually, he's a lot more attentive on those plays, so I anticipate that he's going to come back and have be rejuvenated, and I'm anticipating and I'm hoping for the NBA. I just get one more game of basketball. So I'm actually rooting for the Heat to win on Friday.
And listen, this will probably then be the worst news I can give you, but I'm picking them to win that game. Lord knows I'm always wrong, but my hashtag KOD says the Heat win Friday night and force a Game 6 on Sunday. Jalen Rose, outstanding, my man. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you. Let's see. Mike, go ahead.
Hey, LeBron, I just want to ask you about KCP down the stretch there. You grabbed the rebound off Jimmy's miss, push in transition, see him in the corner. Just wonder, all the teammates you've had, you know which guys are going to be capable for those moments in the finals game. What you thought of that and his effort overall?
I think at the end of the day, if you're on the floor in crunch time, then I believe in you. Who's ever out on the floor with me, I believe can make plays. And tonight was a case in point of KCP. A guy who stays ready, who works on his craft. And like you said, you know, that three in front of their bench was a huge three. And obviously the drive at the end of the shot clock was two big back-to-back plays, you know, in the fourth quarter where we needed to continue to score versus this team.
I think it was after game 2 that you made the comment that it's not just enough to win the game. You guys want to be great. This game was one where defensively you guys were great, and then there was a lot of sloppiness early offensively with the turnovers. I'm just wondering if there's a certain point, like, does there come a point where you stop striving for that winning in a great way, and it's just enough to get the wins? Or is that not until
Well, it's two different things. It's kind of two different things, two different points you're making. You never stop striving to be perfect or be great. Not going to happen, but that don't mean you still don't strive to be as great as you can be every night. Now, you know, every game has its own, you know, adjustments and things of that nature. And you know, tonight was one of those games where we had to win on the defensive end and make some timely shots. But I think when you start thinking like, okay, well, I can't be great tonight, or we can't be great tonight, okay, we just have to figure it out, then you sell yourself short. And for me personally, I would never do that as long as I lace them up and put on a uniform. But I love what we did tonight.
Allison?
LeBron, you guys took a 5-point lead to the fourth quarter and won the game, which made you, as a team, 56-0 this season, taking a lead into the fourth. What does that say about the makeup of your team, and do you take any pride in being on a team that can possess that stat?
Well, I think the fourth quarter obviously is winning time. You had 12 minutes to buckle down defensively with the lead, try to hold that lead, and then you have to execute offensively. And you know, obviously didn't know the stat, you know, coming into tonight, but for us, that's just the mindset. You know, we got 12 minutes, and if we have the lead, it's our job to outscore the opponent or hold them to less points as us, which is the same exact thing. You know, and because if we win the quarter, we win the game, and that's kind of been our mindset all year long.
I know you talked about AD's great games and said that's who AD is, but in the last 2 days, from where he sort of told us after Game 3, he felt like it could have been more aggressive to the guy he was after hitting that shot with 39 seconds left, beating his chest. What did you see in sort of his just getting back to that place where he can be the player that he can be?
Well, I mean, he's a big shot maker in the shot clock, early in the shot clock, fourth quarter, first quarter, everything in between. And it was just a great setup by Doe. You know, first, you know, the possession before that, Doe was able to fake it like he was going back to him, carry himself into the lane, get a layup. And then, you know, kind of the very next possession, you know, he was able to, you know, find him. And AD just kind of stared at the, stared at the shot clock, knew it was late in the shot clock, and obviously trusted his shot that he works on consistently. So, big time shot, big time play for our team to be able to put the game away.
Sam?
Ron, Spo just said over here that this game being tight back and forth the entire time, that it came down to moments of truth. You guys won more than they did at the end. But when AD hits that shot and you're doing the Ric Flair and screaming a little bit, is there a different kind of satisfaction when y'all are so tight all night long and then you have that kind of a breakthrough at that point?
Well, you kind of know momentum plays and momentum shots, depending on the score, the time, what's going on, you know, within the last few possessions. They were going back and forth, I mean, with us, you know, and we were going back and forth with them. You know, Duncan Robinson hits one off the glass at the end of the shot clock for a 3. Bam hits one off the glass, and right there before we thought that possibly went in. Obviously,